Hi there, I'm Hermann and I'm going to run you through the MC16 mastering monitor controller. As you might have guessed, we're talking about 16 channels of monitoring for monitoring immersive audio. Dolby Atmos, Aura 3D, Sony 360, all of that are new and upcoming formats that we have to deal with, and we have to monitor them one or the other way. And there is one specific need to actually control the volume in the analog domain. This is for reasons of high resolution audio. Many of the currently available systems are digitally controlled and only running on 48 kilohertz sample rate, so that's not sufficient for high-end audio. Let me run you through the specialties that we have in the MC16, and that will make your life a lot easier when dealing with 16 channels of monitoring. Well, first of all, on the input side, we have two 16 channels input. So an input 1 16 channel and input 2 16 channels. Both are radio buttons. Now you might think, why do I have to use two? Well, one, obviously, that's your main monitoring path coming from Pro Tools, for example. And number two would be like a reference coming from a home entertainment device where you got 16 channel output and you use that as a reference player to be inserted here. Right, now we have the 16 channels. They're all labeled 1 to 16. You can put stickers or labels into these buttons if you like. Go to the DMC website, scroll down to the bottom, there is a PDF. There are already labels in there. You can create your own ones and put them in here. So you can put all the names of your speakers in there, which helps a lot. But as they vary from format to format that you use, well, we haven't put them on the print. We just labeled them 1 to 16 here for general purposes. Now, obviously, these are all on switches, right? And you can switch each speaker individually on and off. But you don't want to do that all the time, so you have presets, meaning that you can program any speaker set into one of the three presets. Let's assume the first preset that you want to deal with is a 5.1 preset. So you have 6 channels that you use for that. So you press preset A for 3 seconds. You see that it's blinking and that it has accepted that setup. Now, if you do anything else added to that, you see that the preset A is off, meaning that's not a current preset. But if you press it again, it restores the setting of the 5.1. Now you might create a 7.1 preset. That would be like this. And then you would say, okay, I have a 9.1.6 set up for Dolby Atmos. That means you have all speakers running, all the 16, and you store them to preset C. So now this is my 5.1 project, this is my 7.1 project, this is my 16 channels Dolby Atmos project. There is another way of using these presets, and that's the solo function that you see up here. Now, it is very useful to monitor specific areas of the immersive audio speaker set. For example, so let's assume we're monitoring Dolby Atmos, and we only want to hear all of the bottom speakers. So these are speakers 1 to 8. Now what we're doing is we're going to press solo, and then we're going to select the first 8 channels. And then we're going to press preset A again for 3 seconds. Next thing is we want to monitor all of the height speakers. So we switch those one off, and we switch the height speakers on, and we save them to preset B. And last but not least, we only want to hear the front speakers. So we are going to activate left, right, and center, top, left, right, and center, and we save them to preset C. So now in solo mode, we can listen to all of the front speakers. These are all the height speakers. and these are all the bottom speakers. Switching solo off gets you back to the original configurations 5.1, 7.1 and 9.1.6. The MC16 also has a dim function, which is 20 dB minus standard, and a mute function, which is always a cool thing to have, just to shut all the speakers off, especially in the event that you have like nonsense coming from your DA converters, which sometimes happen, and then it's already full-scale signal. Well, you all have experienced that in the past. So that protects your speakers and your hearing. The MC16 is designed to work together with the DMC mastering console, meaning that your front left and right speakers in the stereo field are the same that you would use in 5.1, 7.1, 9.1.6. Left and right, it's always the same. So you will not put up additional speakers for left and right. You will want to use those that you have for stereo as well. But as we know, we all do like probably 90% of stereo work, and then there is 10% of immersive audio work. Maybe that changes, but currently it's like that. So we need a seamless way of going from stereo to immersive audio and back. And that is what we've designed in conjunction with the DMC. As I explained in the DMC video, there is a function where you press the speaker A for 3 seconds, so that puts the DMC to sleep, and it will feed left, center and sub to the MC16 for monitor control. Then all of the 16 channels are being governed by the MC16. I'm going to show you how to connect the MC16 to the DMC. This is the rear panel of the MC16, and this is the rear panel of the DMC. Our workstation, our decks for the first 8 channels and for the second 8 channels. So then we have our left speaker, our right speaker and our subwoofer. Those are connected to the DMC, whereas all other speakers for immersive audio are connected to the MC16. Now, obviously we connect the workstation to the decks, and we start with the left channel. So we feed channel number 1 into input 1 left channel. Now we need to feed this back to the MC16, to its input left, in case we want to monitor through the left speaker in an immersive application. And we have to feed it back to the DMC in case, well, the DMC should do this for a stereo application. And we feed this down to the speaker itself. And the same for the right channel. The center, that stays in the DMC and only goes from there directly to the center speaker. Now the LFE is a bit different, because if we have an LFE channel dedicated, we need to feed this into the DMC in case we want to hear this on the subwoofer, which is now labeled LFE in that case, and we connect it out of the sub output. And from here on, all other inputs are going directly to the MC16 and from there to its dedicated speaker. So finally we have the monitor level control, this big knob over here. Behind this knob we have a potentiometer that has 16 levels for 16 audio channels. It also features an LED up here on the front that is good so that you can see your monitor level from anywhere in the room when you walk around. It's always a good indication to have a good visual on that LED. So that's the run through on the MC16. Thanks for that, and see you behind the desk.